literally, there can be whole industries formed for solving every environmental problem. The reason I know this is possible because it's already been done. If we look at the organic food industry, that was basically a response to pesticides and poisons in our lives. It's in our personal lives, and it's in the lives of the plants and animals that live in our ecosystem that we have to share the planet with. And so that was a motivating factor behind the founding of the organic food movement, is both personal health and protecting the ecosystem on which we all depend. I mean, all major philosophies see human beings as part of that ecosystem, that we're made out of the same basic design of the planet. If we're dumping crap into the biosphere, it's just as the same as if we're, dumping crap into our own personal body. And everyone is starting to get this now, which is why so much is possible. That's the sort of fundamental understanding. Now, based on that, the more people understand that, the more people are turning that understanding into monetary demand. They're demanding food that treats their body and the planet right. Now that demand is expanding to other systems. They're demanding furniture that's made in an environmentally benign way. They're demanding housing and transportation. So this demand is built on this understanding, an awakening of society. That's not going to go away. Okay, in every advanced society now, every Western industrial society is having this awakening at the same time. In fact, the U.S. is, we got a lot of leadership, but in terms of what we're actually doing, we're behind Europe and even China now. We're starting to fall behind in terms of leadership on what we're actually doing about it. I think we're pretty big on the understanding side. But that understanding creates a market, okay? People who talk about the economy, they talk about scarce things and needs. If you look at our economy, it is not based on scarcity and distribution of scarce resources. It's based on values. And even if you look at countries that are, I've been in India, I haven't been to every poor country in the world, so I don't want to just shoot off my mouth. But by and large, what we do with our money is much more an expression of our value set than expression of just our need to, get food on the table and house ourselves. And obviously, there's, a billion or more people for whom just basic survival is everything. But beyond that, the economy reflects values. And so as this ecological value moves into society, whole markets are created by the value itself. If you look at a company like Whole Foods Markets, their entire economy really rests on people's acceptance and understanding of the value of the organic thought, right? If I go into Safeway and buy a regular apple, I can't tell just by looking at it there's any different than the apple I get at an organic food store. It's that knowledge, it's that understanding that has me make that preferential spending choice. And you take that basic understanding and extrapolate that, you could actually solve any environmental problem on the planet this way. And that's what we're up to. Now, we can actually do that, creating for-profit markets for solving, for-profit opportunities for solving any environmental problem. And, why should we do that? The reason we should do that is because the nonprofit model just doesn't work. In the nonprofit model, you mostly have preaching and lawsuits. It's just, they're what I call the sales force. But when they succeed, when something that they actually, when the nonprofit groups actually succeed in getting a big change in society, they don't get any economic return. Now, there's no other industry on the planet that runs that way. In any other industry, you close a sale, you make the sale, and you get paid, and you go back and you do it again. And so that's why the for-profit model creates these rapidly expanding enterprises. So, okay, rather than hating capitalism or hating that model, we say, okay, our problems are rapidly spiraling. How about we put the ecological value system into that for-profit system and have rapidly expanding ecological solution companies? The trick of that is getting them started. Once they start, they tend to grow. But there's another thing is that, all environmentally oriented businesses have this same problem. They have to teach people about ecology and the environment before they can make their sale. So it's a much more complicated sale than, say, just selling a car or something. There's a lot of teaching involved. And so it's very inefficient. Right now, the growth of this sector is kind of hodgepodge. There's no real efficient messaging center. Now, EcoSector, by not being a discrete company, we're not having one solution. By being a company that helps all the solutions, we can also help all those solutions with common marketing, with common messaging. So we help build the field in which all of the environmental businesses will grow. We can really contribute a lot in that way. And again, the most important thing we're doing right now is just hardcore, pragmatic business consulting, capital strategies, and everything any kind of entrepreneur would want. But here's the deal. You can go, there's a lot of people that do this stuff out there, and they charge a lot of money, and that's not bad. The problem is that most people that understand the finance world and understand how to grow a company just don't give a whit about the environment. So back in 2001, I said, okay, I'm going to get off all the action alert lists. I'm going to stop being an activist. I'm going to take my ecological understandings, and I'm going to figure out how this whole financial system works so that we can help grow companies that I could see were starting to emerge. And so now I've been assembling a whole team of people who are experts in the way the regular economy works, but they also get the mind of an ecological entrepreneur. They get the green economy, they get the environment. Finding those people that have those two skill sets together is very rare today, and so we're providing a very rare service. I think in the future there's going to be a lot more. There's green MBA programs pumping out business experts and things like that, and so EcoSector will be able to scale its ability to help design, grow, and scale up all kinds of business solutions to everything that you might have a concern about today. Well, the first thing I want people to do is come to the EcoSector portal at ecosector.com and just check out. We've got close to 100 really cool companies just featured on the portal, and you can look and see who's in your neighborhood. You'd be amazed at what some of these companies are doing. It's just inspiring. The reason I set up the portal this way is because I like reading little short blurbs about really cool green companies, what they're doing. It just turns me on. If you go and see that, you'll be turned on. Now, being turned on is good. You know, the next thing, of course, I want you to do is participate, because the thing is, a lot of these companies can't afford to get the kind of help they need. So we've created this whole system where you can help subsidize this. We've got this team of experts, but you know what? These guys are trained long and hard. They need to get paid a decent amount of money, not necessarily top dollar, but they need to get paid for their work in helping these green businesses grow and scale and solve problems. So if you sign up to become a member of the EcoSector Industry Association, what happens is your money is helping subsidize the work so that we can deliver these services at either free or very reduced cost to these green entrepreneurs. There's nowhere else in the business development sector where companies can get this kind of low-cost service along with ecological understanding. And that's, you know, two really important things that are going to really turbocharge the growth of this sector. And you know, given the business model that we have, we can really scale this up. We can really launch 1,000 companies just using this method. So here's the deal. I know you individually. Look, I've met some very rich people who care about the environment. And here's one of the problems that sometimes really wealthy people have. They're so used to winning, but the environment's such a big game. They know that even if they took all their money and spent it, they can't solve all the problems. And that's kind of a wake-up for them. And so now for the rest of us, we don't even fantasize about this. I mean, I'm just a middle-class guy. I never fantasized about I was going to solve all the problems with all my own money. I just never. It's not possible. So I immediately, you know, so my tendency has been to go into building systems that work for everybody, and that's what EcoSector is about. It's like everybody who cares about the environment can become a member at whatever dollar level you feel comfortable with, whatever you like, from as little as $1 to as much as you like, as often as you want, infrequently as you want. And that money goes in, and it goes and helps us lower the costs of providing services, working out problems, and doing everything it takes to get these businesses up and running and get these solutions in place for real in the real economy.